Carlos, what's good, man?
Hey, bro.
How we
Good,
doing?
good, man. But the question is, how are you guys doing?
Doing good, man. Everything's good, man. How do I say it? After the two hurricanes that we've had, it's been a little, you know, but the leads are coming in, so that's a good thing, right?
What is
But
exactly little?
people, title companies, realtors kind of being, not fully available, uh,
Mhm.
delays with walking properties, things like that. We have six or seven properties under contract right now, and it's kind of been a little bit of a hassle, try to coordinate everything.
Mhm.
You had the hurricane on Thursday. People started prepping on Tuesday, and then people kind of start slacking. Wednesday, people are preparing. Thursday, the hurricane happened. Friday, they're cleaning up. They're just out of it. Saturday, Sunday. Yesterday was Columbus Day, so a lot of people were kind of off. So it's been one of those things where um it's been slower in the sense of being able to push things, going. But like I said, leads are coming in, which is exactly what we want.
Have you been having some good conversations?
100%, brother, 100%, man.
Bro, that's
Uh,
two contracts last week, right?
I believe so. Two contracts last week. One of them was a one call close.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, man, we have let me see, one second. One, two, three, four, five. We have six properties under contract right now. One of them we took down as a flip. We actually went out there yesterday to go and check it out, do the final walkthrough. We should be listed sometime later this week. And and yeah, man. Yeah, two contracts last week. I believe it was. Oh, and matter of fact, I'm waiting on one to come back right now. Which that reminds me, I gotta call this lady.
Okay, so you have to call one of these guys
Yeah, yeah,
later.
yeah, 100%.
Okay, so one of them is Jessica. Give me one moment. Um, you know what the names of the clients? One of them is Jessica.
Yes, and the other one is, give me a second here.
Believe Marsha.
Marsha, that's
Oh,
what actually I'm waiting on right now, which I don't know why it's there, but that's one I'm waiting for. It's gonna be signed today.
okay, so you're missing the
Uh,
signature, but
yeah. So we got Jessica last week. We got Mary D. Michael last week. We got
what?
Anna last week.
You know what's so weird? I got Jessica like the notification. I got it on Tuesday, October the 8th. I think it was Tuesday, October the 8th.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it was Tuesday. And then the next day I got another notification. But it also said it was Jessica. So I'm guessing it's a different Jessica then. Or
Uh,
there was just some error in the system. But
Probably because I only, yeah, one Jessica is that I know of.
so you just mentioned two or three contracts from last week.
Last week was one, two. Okay, it was two last week, one the week before.
One the week before.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing we already talked last week on the success call about the one from the prior week. So we're missing the two new ones, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So, bro, can we speak a little bit about that and like make this a new success call real quick? So basically, okay, so those were that was a good week in the sense that those were fresh leads, both of
Yep.
them. Wow.
Yep.
Do you think anything has to do with the hurricane a little bit, or those were
Mm,
not because of that?
no, no, we have been getting leads that have been affected by the hurricane, which is a good thing. But no, these two leads, one of them was Tired Landlord. Tenants stopped paying, and we that was a one call close. The second one, the lady's she's older, she's going back up north with her family and she's just leaving. She's in Tampa right now. She's just, leaving. That one got under contract the same day. But it took 3 calls to get her closed. But both of these people came in that day and then that day they were locked up.
So it seems like the woman, the tired landlord, that was a one call close, and the other one took 3 calls.
Yeah.
Would you say that the tired landlord had like a bigger motivation than the other one?
Yes, yes, because at this point she has a mortgage on it. She had tenants. Tenants stopped paying. She has this now. She has to also take care of this mortgage, and she's like, "No, I'm done."
Okay, that makes sense. That was huge, man. Was she asking for a reasonable price, or how did it go?
You know what? She was, man. This is one of those deals. I talked to you a couple weeks ago about us having every once in a while having these deals that just fucking make sense, And
Mhm.
I I I don't like to get greedy, but I know that I could have maybe got it locked up lower because the first offer I made her, she took it, and
Mhm.
I was like, fuck. But it's good though. It's good because on that one we're making $23,000. It's set to close sometime next week, right? So
It's fast.
yeah, it's quick. She wants to get it done ASAP. So,
Wow.
we got resourceful. As soon as we got it under contract, we have 3 of our VIP buyers that we've, done business with plenty of times before. We
Mhm.
all 3 of them up that same day. All 3 of them went to go look at the property. It was a bidding war. Um, you know, they brought their best offers in, and then the next day we took, we assigned it, and we know with this buyer, we know this guy
Mhm.
like because of the hurricane and because of yesterday being a holiday and he hasn't been able to get his EMD in. I'm like, bro, don't worry about it, man. Just make sure you close it. He's that kind of buyer that we know
Mm.
I can close my eyes and trust this guy 100%.
Nice.
Hmm.
That is amazing, man. Definitely, you guys have a really good network. And you're making a stronger network every day. I'm pretty sure.
That's the goal, man. Yeah, part of our goals is to continue to build those relationships, right? Like Jason has mentioned before, man, we pride ourselves in keeping our face card clean, our reputation clean, and I'm a firm believer, man, that, you know, yes, we're in this to make money, we're in this to do transactions, but sometimes relationships matter more than just transactions. What do I mean by that? I had this guy like, he came in with an offer at 105. We had another guy at we were like, okay, we'll assign it to you. We had another guy then come after that and say, hey, I can give you guys 115. Hey, sorry,
Okay.
man. Sorry, we unfortunately we already accepted an
Mhm.
offer. We could have made more money, but because we care about the relationships and we're not greedy, man, it's a good spread, and it's one of those things where it's, keep turning and burning, man. You know.
Yeah, I mean that's really good. Did this guy find out that you guys did that for him?
Yeah, he knows. He knows,
Nice.
which that also goes hand in hand with creating urgency with buyers, meaning when I send you a deal, Mr. John, you give me feedback that same day because it's gonna be sold. Right. And if you take a day or two to respond to my request, you're missing out. I'm sorry. We're not always looking for the highest and best. Right. If we
Mhm.
send it out at this price and you say, okay, I'll take it, and we say okay, then you got yourself a deal. But if you wait a day or two to respond to us, better luck next time.
Okay. That's good, man. That helps you deliver and fulfill what you say to the sellers, right?
Yeah, 100%, man. I mean, the quicker we can get something like everything connected, the
Mhm.
smoother, this operation runs, the more we can just tie the knots together, go on to the next phase, know that this is taken care of. What do we have here? It's just about it's really just about speed, man. The quicker we can get deals under contract, the quicker we can assign them. Um, it's just the name of the game and it's speed.
Really good stuff. And that brings me to the next question. How was the other negotiation with the other guy? Like you said that you talked to the guy 3 times.
That was a lady.
Oh, very good.
It was actually pretty smooth as well. Wasn't terrible. My main thing was my main thing was, oh, attorney objection. I gotta have my attorney look at it. After we went through the whole thing, and I was like, hey, listen, if we can get this done, would you be able to move forward today? Yes, absolutely. Okay, bump, I got you approved. Okay, well, I need to have my attorney look at it, right? I'm like, listen,
Mm,
realistically, attorneys, they're not gonna drop everything they're doing just to glance at a contract real quick to tell you if it's good or not. You know what I'm saying? And you told me you were going to be able to move on this today. I went above
mm,
and beyond to try to get you that higher price that you were looking for, right? And the only way that we can make it happen today is, if we can move forward on this. And she was like, no, no, Abner, like I told you, right? I told you, let me just have him look at it. And it turns out
mm,
this was true. She had an attorney that was a friend. Um,
mm.
the attorney had a couple questions for us, and the seller, asked us about it. And then later that afternoon, she calls me. She's like, "Hey, Abner, I'm ready to go. Um, I told you I wasn't gonna, bail on you.
Mm.
I just really need to cross my T's and dot my I's." I'm like, okay, I understand. So the negotiation wasn't hard. It was that little uncertainty with the objection of the attorney.
Mm.
It turned out to be true. We got
Yeah.
it under contract that same day, and actually Jason and Enrique right now are at the property as we speak, taking pictures and all that good stuff. And we got it under contract the day before the hurricane. So this was Tuesday of last week.
Mhm.
So just now we're getting access because of this whole delay. We lost, like, our cell phones weren't working for a couple of days. A lot of people lost a lot of power. So it was crazy, bro. It felt like it was back in the 15th century or something, man.
That's crazy, man. That's really crazy. And she, okay, you know what? I feel like you did a great job building a relationship really quick with this person because, like, man, listen, the struggle is real. When people say they're gonna talk to their lawyers, it's because their lawyers are gonna break that thing apart. And a lot of the times they do it out of distrust with the process and with the person they're talking to. But that was really good. And you also hold her accountable for, like, hey, you said you were gonna do it, so that
Hmm.
may have played out on your behalf, like really well. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah. No, she was truthful. She wants to get things done. So,
Mm.
I know she's also doesn't really have anybody to look out for her. So she was like, "Hey, listen, I got somebody who can at least give me their opinion on it." And she did, when she called me back telling me she was ready, before she told me she was ready, she did have some concerns. She's like, "Hey, my attorney says this, and that you guys have the ability to stretch it out another 2 months." And I'm like, "Where does it say that?" She's like, "That's the same thing I said." I was like, nowhere in the contract does it say that we're gonna stretch it out for an additional 60 days after the 30 days. She's like, yeah, I don't see that anywhere as well. I don't know what he's talking about. I'm like, maybe he was just having a bad day and didn't know what he was looking at. She's like, okay, Abner, you know what? Let's get it done. Let's go. But yeah, man, sometimes
But
it can be a test. Sometimes people can really kind of get in the way of, of the of certain things, influence them. And sometimes it could be a bad deal. Sometimes, we can overcome it and just still get the deal done.
yeah, man. I mean, that's the attorney's job, right? Like trying to find, I mean, trying to avoid their client to be screwed or something like that.
Yeah.
So it's their job. It's their job, but it was a good thing that you had a good relationship with her and could also you understand your contract so well and you understand how you guys do business. Oh, you mentioned something really huge, something really important. You said that you went out of your way to give her the price that she needed. How do you get resourceful about that?
Well, it was just negotiation, man. She was asking, I can't remember exactly what she was asking. It was still under market value, so she wasn't like asking retail.
Mhm.
But she was at like 150, 155. I was at 130.
Mhm.
125, I think I was. And you know, we touched up on why my offer has to be this. She understood this and that.
Mhm.
She's like, I think my offer was 130. It was 130. She's like, no, Abner, like, I'm sorry, but I understand and it makes sense, but I just need a little bit more. And I'm like, okay, what does that mean exactly? She's like, she came from 155, 150 or 155. She's like, if you could do 135 and you guys pay all the closing costs, I'll get this done. I was like, okay, well, I'd have to get an approval from my team. I can't just give you a certain yes. It's only $5,000. I hope it's not a big issue. Let
Mhm.
me just go ahead and talk to my underwriters and my team to see if this is something that we can make work. Because I don't want to tell you yes and then them come back and say no, we're all in at 130, right? So then I came back and I was like, hey, good news. They said that, we actually just had another property that fell through because the seller, something happened with the seller. So they said that because we have some more funds available, if you would be willing to go ahead and get the process started today, we can absolutely get you to 135. Okay,
Nice.
great. Yeah, let's do it. Let me just talk to my attorney. That's when the objection came up.
Okay, okay.
And after I was trying to overcome the objection, I was like, okay, listen, it's Friday. It was on a Friday, now that I think about it. It's Friday. No, it was on a Tuesday, and then we had the hurricane coming up, so we knew we were gonna not be operating, right? The point is that the next day or two, we were not gonna be operating. And I'm like, okay, listen, I understand that. You told me you can get it done today, or we can move forward today. My only concern, Mrs. Mary, is that, you know, your attorney doesn't have time to review it today. It's already the middle of the day. I don't think they're gonna drop everything they're doing. My concern is you get back to me in 2 days or 3 days, you say, hey, Abner, I'm ready to go. And meanwhile, they've already allocated the resources to another property and we have to go back to our original offer.
Mm.
She's like, it's okay. I'm willing to take the gamble. I was like, fuck. I was like, all right, cool. And now, yeah, it turns out she got back to me and we got it done. But it was a simple negotiation, man. It
Yeah.
was nothing crazy.
But it was a lot of like urgency creation and a lot of like, if I give you this concession, you give me this.
Give and
So
take.
give and take. Yeah, it was something good, man. I like it. And
Mm-hmm.
again, man, like Alex Hormozzi says, people can copy your offer, they can't copy your results.
Mm-hmm.
So man, I can see you guys very empowered. Like you guys know what you're doing. You guys know that you guys can every single deal that is closable the same week, you guys are gonna get it. That's
Yeah,
the way
man.
to see it.
The name of the game right now is capitalizing on everything that we possibly can capitalize on.
Mhm.
We're turning and burning. What I'm focusing on today is trying to see. So these are two things I'm focusing on this week. Number one, what can we push? What can we condense the timeline? What deals can we push to close quicker so they can close out this month? Number two is I'm going back through all my leads
Mhm.
and following up with them with drip campaigns to try to get them on Novation. For example, those leads that were asking too much, right? I created a campaign late last night.
Mhm.
It was probably like 10 o'clock at night. I created a campaign. I got 30 leads, 25, 30 leads on the campaign. That's a follow-up drip campaign for Novation pitches. And so now I'm working on trying to squeeze a lemon as much as possible to try to capitalize. So right now, man, we're just trying to capitalize on as many opportunities as we possibly can.
Love it. This
Hmm.
is great, man. Congratulations.
Thank you, man.
The one on Saturday, you said that you're waiting for a signature.
Yeah, man. She was gonna get to it yesterday. She told me, okay, everything looks good. I'll sign it right now. And she hasn't, so I'm gonna call her here as soon as you and I finish up so I can see what's going on.
Awesome. So that's gonna be a case of a next success call then.
Absolutely.
And one last thing, the lady that had the attorney objection, how much do you anticipate making for that one?
That's a good question, man, because it's a condo. I would be okay with 10,000,
Mhm.
but we have to test it out because so the guys are out there getting pictures. We don't know what it looks like exactly. And then the thing with condos, it's on the water, it's condos on the water. Sometimes they're a bit there's not a lot of investors that do condos, right?
Mhm.
And we've done a few condos in the past. And it's usually a little bit more vetting, more work, if you will. So I would say for right now, 10,000, 10,000 is what we're anticipating, but we'd have to see what it looks
Okay.
like today.
Makes sense. How is the one last question about something else? How is the flip going? The one that you guys took?
Good, man. We went yesterday. It's a 6 hour drive one way.
What?
We left at 3 o'clock in the morning yesterday. We got there like at 10. We made a few stops. We met with a couple realtors. We did a final walkthrough to make sure. There was a couple of little things that they're knocking out today, like some trims on the wall, really small stuff. It's gonna be done today. Yeah,
Oh, it's almost done.
yeah. No, it's done pretty much. Just a couple of, and they can knock it out in about an hour or two. So they're probably already done right now. Who knows? But yeah, we interviewed a couple of realtors that met us out at the property, and we're going to have this thing listed hopefully by the end of the week.
Man, that's great. I was like, man, 6 hours, and imagine this was like I don't know, a 3 week flip. I was like, those guys are really in love with that property to take it.
Man, it was a situation, bro, where um we have it locked up at a good price, at a great price. But the hurricane got in the way. The last hurricane, not this one that happened, but the one before, it got in the way. Buyers were kind of on the sidelines, not necessarily wanting to move forward. And then we only had a couple of days to make the deal happen. And the buyer, he had offered us 185 at first. And then when we were able to send the contract, he's like, nope, the most I can offer is 165. We're like, come on, man, why do you do this? We went through
Mm.
you walked the property, you know what's going on. You said, okay, I'll move forward at 185 today. Let's do it. And then all of a sudden you're telling us when we're about to send you the assignment that you can only do 165. We're like, come on,
That
man.
was on purpose, maybe.
Yeah, we're like, nah, man. We're like, Jason was like, man, fuck that guy. Sorry. He was like, man, fuck that guy. We'll close on the thing. We got it at a good price, clean out, minimal work, listing it right back on the market. We closed on it 2 weeks ago. We're two weeks in, 2.5 weeks in. So, it's one of those quick flips. We had to just capitalize on the opportunity. We were running out of time, and we're like, you know what? There's money to be made here. Why not?
Mhm.
Am I picking up a flip 6 hours away where I have to drive again? That's a good question. I don't know if I'll do that, but um,
But it was
sometimes
quick, at least. It was quick. It
it
wasn't
was,
like 3 weeks
yeah,
or multiple trips or something.
2 trips. That's it. 2 trips, 2 weeks. And we'll see what happens.
Bro, one last thing. I just remembered. We've been talking about two deals, potentially a third one that you're about to get close today, right?
Uh-huh.
To get signed today.
Yeah.
Um, no mention of novations or creative financing or anything like that. That means those were cash deals. So that means, if I'm correct, that means that you're closing same week deals without novations. So when you guys start doing novations more frequently, that means it's gonna be even. I mean, that's gonna help you consistently do that, right?
The cool thing, man, is that these deals that have been coming in, we start cash, and then sometimes we do creative. It just depends on the situation, but we do cash first, then novation. The good thing about these is that they accepted cash.
They accept the cash. Okay,
So, uh-huh.
that's amazing, and that takes me to the next point. Remember the masterclass that I told you guys to check on Rich Wonders? Did you guys watch it? The
Oh
night.
yeah, I have his course. Yeah.
Have you seen it yet or not yet?
Yeah, I went through the whole course already. Yep.
You went through all course already? Okay. One of the things that I noticed that I didn't notice the first time I saw it was this guy said he treats every single lead as cash, as a cash offer, as a cash deal. And then when it makes sense that he's too far away from what they're asking, Sometimes he even goes to innovations right away without even offering the cash. Like he would say, most investors, all investors, they would offer you this, but I don't think that's gonna work for you. And he just assumes the sale with a higher offer.
Yeah.
You see, that was I thought that was the most brilliant part of it. Because if you think about it, innovations is still an investor type of exit. So it's an investor solution. And he says that it gives you certainty, it gives you hands-off experience, and it gives them speed. I forgot the other one. Hands-off experience. Oh, white glove treatment.
Mhm.
So man, it's a no-brainer. It's more money than a cash offer. All they have to think about is they're gonna get more money. And then when he walks people through a contract, that's when they get and see all of the little things. So that method requires that you walk all the clients through a contract.
100%. Yeah, so I used to also, at one point we only wanted to do novations, and the idea, the framework behind the sales process was like, we get their asking price, and the asking price is like a lot higher than the cash offer. Listen, Mr. Seller, unfortunately, if we were to pay cash for this property, we'd have to be at, X amount. But I have some good news. I know that's not going to work for you. I have some good news. We actually got this other program, that you could potentially be qualified for, and what it pretty much allows. And then we go into the pitch. So I used to say, listen, the cash offer came in. I'll be honest with you, it's not what you're looking for, right? But we have this. Now what I do is I do cash because it's going to anchor them, right? And more,
It's working well.
yeah, it's working well. And if they still want that higher price, so listen, the only way we can get you the higher price is if we do this.
Okay.
Relatively similar to you, to the cash offer for you, a lot more work on our end. You get a higher purchase price. Just give us a little bit more time, reasonable access, and we can get you that
Okay.
price. And one thing we started doing as well, man, is like, this is one thing that our coach gave us a task to do, is so those leads that don't, we make them an offer and they just don't, they're like, hey, it's not gonna work, perfect. We created a bucket called the quality assurance bucket in our CRM. So anybody that I've made an offer to and it didn't work, quality assurance, which is Jason, gives them a call. Hey,
Mhm.
this is John. How you doing? This is Jason with HPO Home Solutions. I'm one of the supervisors here in the company with the quality assurance team. I wanted to give you a quick follow-up call, to ask you about how the conversation went with Abner yesterday. I just want to make sure that, that we get your feedback so that we can improve our process. And if there's anything we missed, we can,
Nice.
kind of do that. And he's had a couple people that have either, now they're talking to a supervisor, right? Now he's
Okay.
like, okay, yeah, the reason why we can't do this is because of this. But did he offer you this service over here, Mr. Seller? Did he go through the equity protection program? Oh, he didn't. Okay, gotcha. Well, listen. And then he kind of, so it's another avenue from a higher
Nice.
up to talk. And then he's had people like say, you know what? Well, let's see what we can do, right? So we re
Wow. Keep me posted on how those results go on that
Mhm.
program.
Absolutely, man.
Awesome, man. Let's wrap up this success call real quick, man. So thank you so much. It was really good info. Excited for your successes, bro.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate it, man.